Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I'm Scott Luthold. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you episode 4 of season 1 of this series of the build of our cabin here in northern New Mexico and living out our dreams. If you haven't watched this series in the past, definitely go back and watch some of the earlier episodes. I really think you're going to enjoy it. In this episode, we talk about installing our floors, putting in kitchen cabinetry, working on the interior and the exterior of the cabin, and I take you around and show you some of the beautiful sights. I'm really looking forward to sharing this episode with you, so sit back and enjoy the ride. Well, exciting times ahead, my friends. We're heading out to the property. Today's our last day. It's July 1st here at the RV park, so we're heading out there. We do have electricity out there, which is really great, and we're hoping to be able to have some water, and it's just a really exciting time. So Heather and I are packing up here. We've got the car, the Subaru, the RV, and then we also have the truck here. So we're going to be taking both of these, all three of these out there. We've got a storage facility out there now, and we'll be able to store some of our stuff on property. So it's pretty exciting. Here we go. Well, needless to say, we're very excited to get out to the property full time. And fortunately yesterday, as I just mentioned a little bit ago, we had a guy named Bob come out and hook up our electricity. We were having some problems, and it turned out that the main wiring was completely disconnected from the box, and I didn't realize that. Anyhow, so we have electricity. We do not have a 30 amp for the RV, but we do have a 20 amp, a 110. So we'll be hooking that up. I don't really feel like we need anything more than 110 right now because you don't need air conditioning out here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to use our microwave, but that's not really a big deal either. And then we will be eventually getting a 30 amp hooked up, as well as getting some rewiring done inside the cabin, as I mentioned in the last video. So it's just a really exciting time for us. I'm hoping that one of our neighbors who offered to let us use their water hookup, they're running off of a well, they would be willing to let us hook up to their spigot on the side of the house for now until we get some kind of a water system figured out. But we'll see how that goes. We had all this wood over at our campsite over at the RV park. We brought it over here, gonna stack it up so we have a nice place to have a campfire. We also brought my propane fire pit over. Just in case it's windy, we don't wanna run fires, we can use that as well. She's worth $1 million.
It's moving day, and I am following Scott out to the cabin right now. The weather has been beautiful, but now the rain is coming in, but it doesn't matter because we're moving home today. So exciting!
And here we are. Awesome. I now live on this property. Talk about a dream come true. Got the RV out here. We've set up a nice spot so that when we open up the awning, it goes out into the trees. I brought over a nice little bistro table and chairs. Where I've got the truck sitting right here is where the barn's gonna go. So when people come to visit us, we'll have them park here. That way we don't have people driving all over the nice grass. But Heather's got her Subaru. By the way, her Subaru is called Hazel, and Hazel is a green Subaru Outback. And then we have the storage facility over there, and just, we're here. We're getting this thing going. Aren't you beautiful? Yes. Aren't you beautiful? We're out here just enjoying our beautiful first morning. And I was just talking with Heather a bit ago inside the RV about how I've been moving toward this moment for the past 15 years. I've been wanting to have property in the forest and be in a place where I was submersed in the peace and solitude of nature every day for the last 15 years. And last night was the first night that we moved out to this property. And it's kind of funny, at the RV park, we were sleeping till maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes till 6 o'clock in the morning. And this morning we woke up, it's 8:15. And we didn't have to close our blinds, left the blinds open on the camper, and woke up to birds chirping and looking out the window at beautiful nature. Beautiful pine forests. It's really, really gorgeous right now. Had a really nice time yesterday with Team 4X member and good friend of mine, Luke Musa, and his partner Megan. They came out here and we played some music on guitar. Had a really wonderful time out here. And it was just, we'd only been here maybe 15 minutes. Had just gotten set up and they arrived. They came from Arizona and they're staying over in Taos, and had a really nice time with them. thick do you think this is? Half inch?
I'm guessing an inch.
Inch?
Yeah.
And this is just barnwood siding, I would think.
Yes.
Pretty weathered.
Inch.
I think we both agree that it's a possibility for these to crack easy and splinter, cause splinters and slivers in your feet. But we like that look.
Love that look. Yeah.
And it could be pretty easy to take one of these up and replace it with another piece of barnwood if we have some extra, you know. But this wood here, this is newer. I think it's the same stuff, don't you? It's just, and this has been weathered in the sun and rain here on the property, but it's also about an inch thick. And we'd have to decide whether or not we want to nail these down or screw them down. If we screw them down, we'll see the screws, but you know, they'd be easier to take up if they break or split or something. But I think we both agree we want something rustic like this.
Rustic, yeah.
Yeah.
Rustic but safe.
Rustic and safe, yeah. Now, if we have to buy these new, then we maybe have to stain them ourselves. Now, they won't necessarily be, if we stain them, they might not have this sort of streaky old look, but it could be sufficient. I guess in order for us to find something to put down here, which would be reasonably priced, A, we go find an old barn somewhere and go knock on somebody's door.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same. Or we go to the lumberyard and see what it would cost to get something like this and just stain it. Now, if we could get that from the lumberyard and it wasn't terribly expensive for 300 and some square feet, we could go get that today.
Right.
Lay it down in a matter of one day, as long as we measure out where all the joists are, and stain it. We can pick our own stain color. Something, what color would you want? Like a gray, like this?
Yeah, maybe something in between
these
a
two.
little bit warmer than this.
Yeah,
not
this
that red.
Totally agree. I would say this is warm. This is cool, but cool isn't cold, but cool isn't beautiful.
Right.
But I also like this. I like how we could choose and have a couple of wide planks and narrow planks. And if we make it so that they're not tongue and groove like this here, we could peel one up if it busts. Who cares?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, it's not like we're trying to create a fancy house to sell. But I mean, I think we can make it beautiful or something like that.
I like
and
that.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this might be the cheapest solution. So we knock on somebody's door and they're like, yeah, just take what you need.
Oh, yeah, just
3/4 inch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not. If we talk to people, they're going to definitely say this is not hardwood flooring.
Exactly.
But it's not really. It's our flooring. Yeah.
There's another one. And there's another one.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's a long one.
There's one. There's one.
Yeah. There's several there.
Dang, that's long. These are rounded.
Oh, they are. Maybe those are logs. Maybe that's
I'm in my pajamas.
You're in your pajamas. That's what I like about you. Not afraid to get dirty, this woman.
Look, it's fine.
Nice. Look at that. Gorgeous. Love it.
Perfect. Let's go put it in the house.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy cow. Look at that thing.
It spanned the whole cabin. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. See, it's
pine, right?
It's just pine.
With the tree grass and everything.
I'm not afraid to let you carry it.
Okay.
Independent woman. Love it.
Well, maybe we should take this stuff. Bringing nature inside, huh?
That's right.
Oh, geez.
Those are long. Keep going.
Whoa.
So, it's the same stuff, although this is wider.
Oh, you're right.
So, I like this. I like all the different. I mean, these are all different. Maybe we could get a little of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't mind if it's this wide here and this narrow here.
Yeah. They're perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect, that's a good way to put it. And maybe we can look to see if we can, let's measure the widths of all these and order specifically by different widths, as long as they're the same thickness. And down here, this is only bowed up here because it's not nailed down.
Right. I think that choice is about, what'd you say, like 16?
I thought it was maybe 14.
Yeah, probably 14 to 16 because it was about.
Yeah. And you know, I always measure too big.
Really? Obviously. What's 6 inches? That's Scott's measurement. This is 6 inches.
Well, good morning, my friends. Boy, we just had a beautiful morning. It's our second morning here. Got up, made some tea, sat outside under the bistro lights. We have this cute little area that we've set up with a bistro table and some bistro lights, and we're completely surrounded by wild flowers. It's so beautiful. There's not a sound out here other than birds chirping in the morning. The dew is just glistening on all the tall grass and the wildflowers. It's just so spectacular. Well, yesterday I had to do a lot of work on the computer. So today we got some things to do. Yesterday, Heather took down, there was an old sign out on the road that had the name of the previous owners. So we took that down and she put up a mailbox and put our street number on there. She did a lot of hard work yesterday while I was on the computer. Well, today we're gonna load up the rest of this junk that we need to take to the dump. And then I think we're gonna go down to Taos and see if we can find some wide plank pine wood that we're going to put on the floors to stain. And then we're going to look at some wood burning stoves. We're going to get a few things that we need for the cabin, and it's just going to be a really great day. It's a Saturday. Tomorrow is July 4th. There's a big parade and an event going on in Eagle Nest, and we'll probably go over there and spend a little bit of time and enjoy all those festivities. I'll share some of that with you as well. But today is just an awesome day because we're heading out to really start looking for things that we need for the cabin. Cabinetry, whether we buy new or used. For the kitchen, we're going to look at appliances, see if we can find some really cool old rustic island that we can put in the middle, sort of a piece of furniture. And then we'll bring all that back here and spend the next couple of days. Hopefully, if we find the wood, we'll spend the next couple of days staining and testing and seeing what we like, and then putting that down. We're not really putting a hardwood floor down, or well, I shouldn't say not really, we aren't. We're not putting a hardwood floor down. We've decided to do maybe an inch thick pine. And the reason we're going to do that is because, number one, we would really love to have something really rustic. And if it gets a little beat up over time, that's fine with us. We will probably stain it in order to make it feel a little bit more rich, and then maybe seal it with some sort of a matte finish so that if we do spill coffee on it or something like that, it does come up. All right, so there you have it. We've got everything loaded up. We're going to head into town. You know, a lot of people asked me why I got rid of my Subaru Outback, and I've always given the same response. It's always about the right tool for the job for me. And the Subaru really just wouldn't have made the right sense for what I'm trying to accomplish, as you can see here. I've got this truck completely loaded up with stuff we're going to take to the dump. Interestingly enough, when I finally decided to pass on my Subaru Outback to my son, Colin, I ended up meeting Heather, who also has a green Subaru Outback, just naturally. So we passed on one Subaru Outback and I gained another one, but I still also got this vehicle here that's going to help me get everything that I need to do done for this cabin this summer.
copper, all the stuff people normally wouldn't recycle. Apparently,
Watch the nails.
somebody's not a big fan of bleeding.
Look at that. Come out of the dump and look at that view. All right, so we got all that stuff unloaded and we're gonna head into the city. And when I say city, I mean Taos, which is about 6,000 people. All right, beautiful day to be out. Well, we're gonna try some weathered oak Minwax stain on a, what is this, 8 by, no, it's 8 by 12?
8 by 12. 1 by 8 by 12.
1 by 8 by 12, yeah. We're stirring it up here. We're going to try it out. And then on this side, we're going to use the stain. On the flip side, we're going to try something where we rub dirt into it and then put stain over the top of it. See if we can get it to look more authentic and look like it's older and more weathered. So what we're trying to accomplish is trying to make this look like old weathered barn wood. So we're starting with this gray weathered oak. And eventually, we're going to try to get it to look like this other example here, which has been sitting underneath the cabin for about 12 years. So it may take some layers and some practice and maybe rubbing in some dirt to see if we can come to kind of accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. Well, there we go.
Who knows how this will work or not?
Okay, now we're gonna get crazy. We're gonna get some mud from the driveway here and we're gonna rub mud into those planks. So the first thing we're gonna try is some of this mud and grass. We're gonna rub it on. And we're just gonna go.
That's the technique.
I don't know, that doesn't seem like that's gonna do anything.
Mud.
Yeah, I think we need mud.
Good thing we live in a cabin. Like,
All right, step 2.
not much.
Yeah, let's get some of that mud.
You want me to get it?
Yeah. I wonder if we should put this on before we started staining. Maybe we should flip it over and try.
So we're on the raw part?
Yeah, we're on the raw wood. Yeah, there we go. I bet you never thought about doing this with your wood floors before.
Brand new wood.
Oh, I think we can put it on and then wash it off. What do you think?
There, I like that look.
That's beautiful. Now we're getting somewhere. We can live in a pig pen. Yeah, we're taking matters into our own hands. What do you think?
I think we should just make mud pies instead because it might be a little bit better luck. I don't know. Let's just rinse it off and see.
Let's rinse it off and see. How about some old carpeting? Let's use old carpeting and see what happens.
We have water buckets in there. Should we just tilt
Yeah, we do have water buckets.
Should we just tilt it or?
I think just start smearing it off.
Smearing off.
Smearing off. There you go. See? Now it's going to come off. Watch, it comes completely off and it's just like it was originally.
Takes all the stain. Eh.
All right, so we're going to take this gallon jug. We're going to put a little water on there, wash the mud off, and see if this plank looks a little more weathered. Oh, you got it? How's it look?
Good.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Now that's wet, so it will dry and get lighter. So now we're putting another layer of the gray over the rubbed in dirt look. As Heather was saying, we could probably accomplish this with stain. We probably don't actually need to use mud, but kind of cool process. Doing something a little different.
I like your muddy hands already. High five.
All right, so should we let it sit for a second, or do we want to rub it out? Okay, rub it out. You want to rub? Okay, come on. I kind of feel like we could accomplish the same thing with two different colored stains.
Yep.
What do you think?
Agreed. But I like the look.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's looking a little more like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with time, walking on it, it might eventually look more like that. Especially if we never sweep the floor.
Perfect.
So it's late afternoon. We've got a couple different colors in here. This one on the outer side is naturally darkened by sitting underneath the cabin. The one in the far back, same thing. The middle one's ours. We did the gray. Kind of hard to tell, but it's kind of got a gray wash on it. In the video, it kind of looks spotty, more spotty than it really is. But then we also, down here, it's kind of that mud finish. But we're kind of leaning toward ours, but doing the wide plank and the medium width plank here together, so alternating each row. All right. Say again? No, you're good. And you can cut it a little tighter. There you go. All right, it's 4th of July, so we're gonna head over and watch the parade and watch some fireworks, but we wanted to get some of that wood purchased and brought back to the cabin. We did that. So we bought some 12-inch wide planks. Those are about, I think those are 12 feet long. And then we bought some 6-inch wide planks. And we're gonna alternate the 12-inch and the 6-inch back and forth and fill up the whole 327 square feet floor. And then we're gonna put in some raw cabinets that we'll probably purchase from Lowe's or something like that. But I feel like we're making some progress finally. We'll get those floors laid. We don't care if they're worn in or rustic or how they look, so it's okay if we walk on them once we stain them. It's all good. And it only cost us maybe $400 or $500 in wood, so that's all good news. Well, we're making our way to Eagle Nest. Got here just in time for the parade to get started.
Happy 4th of July!
Look at how amazing this woman is. We're at the parade and she brought food to make. Look at that she's making there. You're amazing. So today we decided to try the weathered oak, which is the gray, and then we added to it another one called espresso. So what we're doing is we're putting the gray down first and then the espresso. And here's a comparison. This is the naturally weathered wood, this one and this one over here. And then this is the one that we've been working on. This is the end that we used yesterday and covered in mud. And you can see that it's still drying. But as we come down here, it's got a little bit more yellow to it because it's a newer piece of wood and this entire thing has been able to weather. But overall, we think we like it.
12 inches deep is the typical.
Okay.
But
We don't know the height.
yeah, well, anything kind of just depends on what it says.
Well, let's just say 24. That's 24. We really want to go taller than that.
Yeah.
That would match the window. But we could also, on the window, if we go above the window on the cabinets, above the window, we could put some kind of cute thing.
And that might look a little better.
Yeah.
It's not all.
So let's just, well, we have to see what the standard height of the raw stuff at Lowe's is.
Well, right.
Let's just say it's 30. That's 30.
Oh, that's a little nice little space.
Yeah, kind of that's a pot shelf kind of thing.
What's this height? Are we 8 foot? See, what is it?
Well,
could have just stood that board up, I suppose.
the full height of the ceiling is, what's that say? 7 feet.
7.
Yeah, 7 feet 7.5 inches.
Okay.
All right, so basically we put our wood flooring down here. We measured from the top of the wood floor up to this line here, which is the top of a typical countertop. And then we measured 16 to the bottom of this because the standard's 18, but we're choosing to do 16 because this room is smaller. And then to the top of that one up there is about 30 inches for uppers. So if we back up here, that'll be all cabinetry. Now we're going to try to figure out where to put a stove, a sink, and a refrigerator. We're considering doing a refrigerator that sits below the countertop as opposed to something tall because there's not really a good spot to put the refrigerator unless we put it right on this wall, which is not something that we're all that excited about doing. Boom, boom. All right, so we've got the island framed out, got the whole kitchen counter cabinets framed out, and then this is the size, well, the depth is the size of a normal cabinet. I don't know if the length is the size of a normal cabinet, but then we'll have that extend out with a countertop and put some cool old posts on there if we make it ourselves. Relocating all this tongue and groove that we have stored up in the cabin so that we can move all of our flooring in there and start working on the floors. Stacking it all up nice in this little storage shed that we got. Thank God for this thing. I noticed that there is one roof leak in there, so I'm gonna have to get some silicone out and climb out on the top of this thing. So this thing's designed so that a crane can just lift it off of a truck, and you'll see that there's little rings on top there. Well, as it turns out, one of those rings is leaking, so I have to get up there and fix that.
Perfect weather for this.
Up and down.
This is a little bit dangerous to be caulking up on the metal roof.
That's right.
With lightning and rain thunder. Get down here.
Well, so far so good. We had a roof leak right here, and there was a puddle here on the floor, and it's not there now. So I think it did the trick. go, starting on the very first plank. We've got about 30 planks to do. Starting with the gray layer, and then we're going to go ahead and do the light brown layer as well over that, and both of them will be a wash, make it look old. Well, we've successfully finished the wider planks. There are 14 of them. They're 12 feet long, and so far all we've put down is the weathered gray. We're kind of leaning toward just doing weathered gray now. Not sure yet. We're letting all these dry. They're in here to dry because it's been raining outside a little bit, but they're really beautiful. This one looks very yellow because it's up so high, but when you look at them down there, they definitely look like weathered barn wood. All right, so it's another beautiful day in paradise. Today we're going to finish the staining of the floors. We've already stained all of the wide planks. Today we're going to stain all of the longer narrow planks because we're going to alternate the wide and narrow planks on the floor. And then we're going to go to town and get some underlayment to put down, some felt paper, and we need to get a nail gun, a finishing nail gun, so we'll do that. And then we've also today ordered all of our appliances from Home Depot, and we've also ordered our cabinetry, all of which is going to be delivered to us here over the next week or two. There's a few things that we have to go down to Rio Rancho, New Mexico to get, and a couple of things in Santa Fe. So we're going to do that probably tomorrow to get a few of those things. And so we're really underway to get the inside of this little cabin, the floors done, as well as the cabinetry in the kitchen. And then we're also going to shop around in Albuquerque and Santa Fe to look for some kind of a unique piece to put in the middle of the kitchen as an island.
Your hands aren't getting dirty, except for this one where we dumped the cans, and now this can is great.
What do you think?
I love them. I think they're going to be great.
Yeah, they look slightly weathered.
Slightly weathered.
They're not old barnwoods, so we're not going to get splinters in our feet, right?
That's good, you're right.
But they sure do look beautiful. They'll dry a dull finish. Right now they look shiny because they're still wet, but once we're done, we'll probably seal them with a matte finish. Should be very, very beautiful. Well, yesterday we got a few things from the store down in Albuquerque. Got a front door lock, something we can use temporarily. And then one of the things that we've been having an issue with is the fact that we don't have a water hookup. So we don't have our well drilled. We're probably not going to do that until next spring. So what I'm doing right now with the RV is we devised a way to be able to utilize water bricks. I've got 8 water bricks. Each water brick is 3.5 gallons. They have a handle on them, and then you can put a spigot on the end of one of them. You can screw it right on. So what we're going to do is we bought this tubing, and I'm going to use a ladder, and we're going to use a water brick, and we're going to drain the water brick into the RV right now to fill up the water tanks on the RV. That way we don't have to buy a couple thousand feet of hose to be able to hook up to somebody's well on another piece of property, and frankly we don't have authorization to do that anyway, so we wouldn't go onto other people's property without their authorization. We do have a couple of neighbors down the road that told us we can fill up our water bricks, so we're going to do that. That gives us water in the RV for the remainder of the summer, and then as we get the addition put on the cabin, we'll start figuring out a way to put in maybe a 500-gallon water tank, and then I'll just have to every month go and refill that. And we're working on a system right now to keep that water from freezing over the winter time. So we'll get into that more later, but for now we've got this hose system. I'll be able to put the spigot on the water brick on the end of this hose. We're going to cut a shorter piece, run that into the water inlet on the RV to fill up our water. So I've talked about these stackable water bricks in my videos before, and I definitely endorse these. Each one's about 3.5 gallons. They're BPA free. As I mentioned, they have a spigot on the front. They're easy to fill. You can also get ones that are for storing food. And essentially, they're mainly for water storage. So you can put tabs in there to preserve the water. I have 8 of them. I'll generally keep many of these stored, and I'll just take one as I need one. But they're ideal for what I'm doing here. We're going to fill that up so that we can use this water for showers. We're not drinking this water, although this is potable water that we have here from a well. So we're just mainly using this for showers, for washing dishes, things like that, flushing the toilet. As far as the toilet's concerned, we're using the toilet just to go pee in number 1, and then we have a porta potty for number 2. And then yesterday when we were down in Albuquerque, I bought a canister with wheels that allows me to empty out the black water tank, which, as I said, just only has urine in it. And I'm going to fill that tank up, and we'll take that over and put that in the porta potty. So when the porta potty service comes once a week, they'll empty that. So this allows us to still be able to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and then we just don't put any solid waste into the black water tank. So these tanks are mainly just for gray water anyway. So this is a pretty good process. Hopefully we'll only have to do this maybe once a week. All right, now we're gonna check and see. Look at there.
Whoa.
Freshwater tank's full. All right, so yesterday we decided to spend the day driving down to Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which is a suburb of Albuquerque located just a little northwest of the city. And we went down there because we had to go to Home Depot. When we ordered all of our cabinetry, most of it is being shipped to our house, but for some reason the Lazy Susan was something that they weren't willing to ship. We had to pick it up in store. So we decided to make a whole day of it. We went down there, we got ourselves some power tools. We started out by getting this really nice sliding compound miter saw. It's a 12-inch. It'll cut 12 inches in width, which is going to be ideal for us. And then we got this really nice Porter cable pancake compressor with 3 finishing nail guns. And we'll be able to use this for both nail gunning the 1-inch thick pine planks to the floor, as well as using it for our tongue and groove interior. And we may even be able to use this for some other things that we have planned. So anyway, we spent a little bit of money yesterday. We got these things. We also got some tar paper that we're going to use as a vapor barrier between the wood floor and the subfloor. So that's what we got going on today. We're going to get started on trying to run a few tests on nail gunning some sample wood to the floor, see how that works out. And then if that all goes well, then we'll be going ahead and getting the floors put in. And within the next week or so, we should receive all of our cabinetry, and we'll start installing all the cabinets in the kitchen. Very nice. Here's the daddy. Nice.
So cool.
So what's really nice about this kit is that it comes with a 6-gallon pancake compressor, but it also includes a 23 gauge pin nailer, a 16 gauge straight nailer, and an 18 gauge brad nailer. And so we thought it was a really great kit. We were recommended to buy it by a friend, and turned out that Home Depot had it on sale right now for 199 bucks, which is a really good deal to get all of that. And it also includes, not only with the compressor, it includes all of the hoses and things that you need. So really good, really great kit, and a really great value. Good, we got the first one rolled out, tucked it underneath the door jamb, touches the wall all the way to the other end. We've decided we're actually gonna just put the floors down underneath the cabinetry, mostly because it's not that expensive wood flooring, and just makes it easier on us to get one step of the process done. All right, our first official cut. So the first piece we're going to tuck underneath there. That's a 6-footer. Then we're going to run a 12-footer across here so we don't have a seam at the door. And we'll do another 6, just shorter than 6 foot here. And then the next lump, so that'll be 12 inches wide. The next one is 6 inches wide, and they're 16 feet long. So we'll probably just run one full length. All right, we had to do a little bit of work to get that underneath the door jamb. You come around here, we're gonna do the first nailing. That's down.
Beautiful. Oh, I gotta pull my nail.
Do what?
I gotta pull those nails. Nice, honey.
There we go.
Beautiful. I like it.
Want me to hold something down here?
That looks good.
Boom. All right, so we got our first 4 rows laid down. Put some more paper down. Other one out to make us something to eat. We got some really beautiful flooring going in here. Well, we managed to get half the floor done today. Have to stop for today because we've been invited by the police chief of Angel Fire, his name's Brad, to go climb to the top of Wheeler Peak tomorrow. Wheeler Peak is the tallest peak in the state of New Mexico. It's about 13,500 and some feet. And you access it on a hiking trail from Taos Ski Valley. So we'll be going up around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll be filming that for an episode of 4 Expedition Adventure. It should be a lot of fun. So tomorrow we're taking a day off. We're gonna do some adventuring. And then on Monday, we'll pick this back up. It turns out that we're about 4 of the 12-inch wide planks short. I don't know how that happened, but we're gonna have to go on Monday and buy 4 more planks, stain those, and continue on. And we should be able to get this floor done by the end of the day, I would say Tuesday. And then we're planning on going over to the storage unit to get a few pieces of furniture to stick in here so we literally can start living in here with a living room. Heather can set up her piano in here. We can put some chairs and maybe get an animal hide, maybe a cow hide for the floor, something like that. And then we've got all of the cabinetry coming in later on this week, I believe. And then we'll be able to go ahead and get the cabinets installed, and the appliances come toward the end of the month as well. And before you know it, we're going to have an operating cabin. All right, my friends, I think that's it for this episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. If you haven't become a subscriber to my channel, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Of course, be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when videos go live. And if you consider yourself to be an adventurer, consider joining Team 4X by going to 4expedition.com/join to learn more. Until the next time, take care.